teens' biggest skeptic. I was kind of prepared of finding just a stone. For me, it has been an amazing experience, I must say.
The wreckage of a spaceship.
At first, one wouldn't have an explanation for what this actually could be.
It could be man-made.
When divers first stumbled upon the Baltic Sea Anomaly, it looked like something straight out of a science fiction film. Years of speculation followed, but the latest analysis has delivered a chilling conclusion. After more than a decade of speculation, scientific analysis, and heated debates,
the sonar suddenly showed an astonishing image. Down there in the cold, dark Nordic waters lay an anomaly, an object no one could identify. It was almost perfectly round, 180 feet in diameter, and it looked like a UFO.
Researchers believe they've finally cracked the code on the Baltic Sea Anomaly, and the truth might be more unsettling than any alien spacecraft theory ever was. Stick around, because what scientists uncovered beneath the waves will leave you shaken.
This strange, odd thing just turned up on the monitor. My initial reaction when the circle turned up on the monitor was, "Hey guys, here we have a UFO."
The solution that changed everything. For years, the Baltic Sea Anomaly has been the subject of endless fascination and wild theories. But now, a consensus of experts and scientists say that the image most likely shows a natural geological formation, backed up by research at Stockholm University, which suggests that the anomaly was left behind by the movement of glaciers. Wait! That sounds boring, right? A simple glacial deposit? But here's where things get absolutely chilling. If this massive, perfectly circular structure is indeed a natural formation, it means our planet's geological processes are capable of creating things that look disturbingly artificial. The so-called Baltic Sea mystery object is, in all likelihood, a mundane glacial deposit, according to the scientist who studied samples from the object. But this mundane explanation opens up a terrifying possibility. If nature can create something that looks this constructed, this purposeful, this geometric, what else might be hiding beneath our oceans that we've dismissed as natural? The implications are staggering. We live on a planet where geological forces can carve out structures so precise, so organized, that they fool experienced divers, treasure hunters, and researchers for over a decade. This isn't just about one anomaly. It's about questioning everything we think we know about the natural world. Think about it. If glacial activity can create something that looks like advanced technology, how many other natural formations around the world might actually be geological phenomena we don't understand? How many mysteries have we solved wrong? The disturbing pattern of misidentification. The Baltic Sea Anomaly case reveals something deeply unsettling about human perception and our relationship with the unknown. For 13 years, some of the most experienced underwater explorers insisted they had found something artificial, something constructed, something that defied natural explanation. In July 2025, Dennis Osberg, co-founder of OceanX, known for discovering the Baltic Sea Anomaly in 2011, announced a new, potentially groundbreaking discovery, describing receiving data that is incredibly big and hard to accept. Even now, after scientific consensus has been reached, the discoverers continue to hint at findings that challenge conventional explanations. This creates a chilling question. If experts can be so thoroughly convinced that a natural formation is artificial, what does this say about our to distinguish between the natural and the constructed? What does it mean for other mysterious discoveries around the world? The electronic interference reported by divers near the anomaly now takes on a more ominous meaning. If this is indeed a natural geological formation that can disrupt electronic equipment, it suggests our planet harbors natural phenomena we barely understand. Rocks that can interfere with modern technology? Geological formations that emit electromagnetic fields? This isn't reassuring. It's terrifying. We're living on a planet where the very ground beneath us, the very rocks in our oceans, might possess properties that we haven't even begun to comprehend. The glacial nightmare scenario. Let's dive deeper into what it actually means for the Baltic Sea Anomaly to be a glacial formation. We're not talking about some gentle ice age process that slowly shaped the landscape over thousands of years. We're talking about geological violence on a scale that's almost impossible to comprehend. The Baltic Sea region experienced some of the most extreme glacial activity on Earth. Massive ice sheets, some over a kilometer thick, ground across the landscape with unimaginable force. These weren't just big chunks of ice. They were geological monsters, capable of carving out entire sea basins and creating formations that still baffle us today. If the anomaly is indeed a product of this glacial activity, it represents something even more unsettling: evidence of geological processes so extreme, so violent, that they can create structures that mimic intelligent design. The perfectly circular shape, the geometric patterns, the raised platform, all of these features that convinced people it was artificial are actually the result of natural forces. But here's what makes this truly disturbing. These same glacial processes shaped much of Northern Europe and North America. If they can create one anomaly that looks artificial, how many others are there? How many perfectly circular, geometrically precise structures lie hidden beneath lakes, seas, and forests around the world? The thought that our planet's natural processes can create things that so perfectly mimic artificial construction is deeply unsettling. It suggests that the line between natural and artificial might not be as clear as we think. The electromagnetic mystery that remains unsolved. Even if we accept that the Baltic Sea Anomaly is a natural glacial formation, one mystery remains completely unexplained: the consistent reports of electronic interference near the object. Multiple diving expeditions have reported the same phenomenon: electronic equipment malfunctioning when divers approach the anomaly. This is where things get really disturbing. If a mundane glacial deposit can consistently disrupt modern electronics, what does that tell us about the materials involved? What kind of rock formation can interfere with satellite phones, underwater cameras, and diving equipment? Geologists have suggested that unusual metallic compounds or rare earth elements in the formation could create electromagnetic effects. But this explanation is almost more frightening than alien technology theories. It means there are naturally occurring materials on our planet that we don't fully understand. Materials that can affect our technology in ways we can't predict. Consider the implications. If there are natural geological formations that can disrupt electronics, what happens when we build cities near them? What happens when critical infrastructure is constructed in areas where similar formations exist? We might be living and working around natural phenomena that could interfere with everything from cell phones to aircraft navigation systems. The electronic interference around the Baltic Sea Anomaly might not be unique. Similar electromagnetic anomalies have been reported at other mysterious geological sites around the world. This suggests we're dealing with a global phenomenon: natural formations with properties that our current understanding of geology can't adequately explain. The pattern of similar formations worldwide. The truly chilling aspect of the Baltic Sea Anomaly solution is that it's not alone. Once you start looking for similar formations, you find them everywhere. The ocean floors of the world are littered with circular geometric structures that show signs of being natural formations with disturbing artificial appearances. Off the coast of Japan, researchers have found the Yonaguni Monument, another underwater structure with geometric features that some believe are natural, others insist are artificial. In the Mediterranean, sonar has revealed circular structures that bear striking resemblances to the Baltic Anomaly. Around the coasts of North America, similar formations have been discovered and dismissed as natural phenomena. But here's what's disturbing. If all of these are natural formations created by geological processes, it means our planet's natural systems are far more complex and mysterious than we ever imagined. The idea that glacial activity, underwater currents, volcanic processes, and other natural forces can consistently create structures that look artificially constructed is deeply unsettling. It suggests that the geological processes shaping our planet operate according to patterns and principles we don't understand. Why do these natural forces seem to favor geometric shapes? Why do they create structures that so closely resemble constructed objects? The alternative explanation, that some of these formations actually are artificial, might be less disturbing than accepting that our planet's natural processes are capable of such precise, seemingly intentional construction. The continuing mystery and future discoveries. Even with the scientific consensus that the Baltic Sea Anomaly is a natural glacial formation, the mystery isn't entirely solved. Dennis Osberg's recent announcements about incredibly big data that's hard to accept suggest there are still aspects of this formation that don't fit neatly into conventional geological explanations. New 2025 expeditions challenge 14 years of geological explanations that never quite added up. This ongoing research indicates that while the scientific community may have reached a consensus, the discoverers and some researchers still believe there are unexplained elements to this formation. What's particularly disturbing is the possibility that we're dealing with a hybrid phenomenon, a natural formation that has been modified or affected by forces we don't understand. The geometric precision, the electromagnetic properties, the unusual material composition, all of these factors might be natural, but they represent natural processes operating at levels of complexity we haven't encountered before. The future implications are staggering. As our ocean scanning technology improves, we're likely to discover more formations like the Baltic Sea Anomaly. If they're all natural phenomena that appear artificial, it means our oceans are filled with structures that challenge our understanding of geological processes. But what if some of them aren't natural? What if the Baltic Sea Anomaly really is a glacial formation, but other similar structures around the world are something else entirely? The disturbing possibility is that we've now established a pattern of dismissing unusual formations as natural phenomena, potentially missing genuine artificial structures. The broader implications for planetary geology. The Baltic Sea Anomaly revelation forces us to reconsider what we know about planetary geology and the forces that shape our world. If glacial processes can create structures that appear artificially constructed, what does this tell us about the complexity of geological systems? We're talking about natural processes that can carve perfectly circular formations, create geometric patterns, and produce electromagnetic effects that interfere with modern technology. This level of precision and complexity in natural systems is both fascinating and deeply unsettling. The implications extend beyond Earth. If our planet's geological processes can create structures that mimic artificial construction, what about other planets? How many formations on Mars, Venus, or the moons of Jupiter might we have misinterpreted? How many artificial structures spotted by space probes might actually be the result of planetary geological processes we don't understand? This realization fundamentally changes how we approach the search for signs of intelligence elsewhere in the universe. We can no longer assume that geometric, constructed-looking formations are evidence of intelligent design. Nature itself might be capable of creating structures that appear purposeful and artificial. The disturbing conclusion is that our universe might be far stranger and more complex than we ever imagined. Not because it contains alien intelligence, but because natural processes themselves operate according to principles that create the appearance of intelligence and design. The psychological impact on the Discovery team. Perhaps the most disturbing aspect of the Baltic Sea Anomaly solution is what it's done to the people who discovered it. Peter Lindbergh and Dennis Osberg, the treasure hunters who found this formation in 2011, have spent over a decade of their lives investigating what they believed was the discovery of a lifetime. Imagine dedicating 13 years of your career, your resources, and your reputation to something that the scientific community now dismisses as a mundane glacial deposit. The psychological toll of such a revelation would be devastating for anyone, but for professional explorers who stake their credibility on there to identify significant discoveries, it's potentially career-ending. This explains why Dennis Osberg continues to hint at new discoveries and incredibly big data that challenge conventional explanations. When your entire professional identity is built around a discovery that's been scientifically debunked, accepting that reality becomes almost impossible. But here's what's truly unsettling. What if they're not wrong? What if their years of experience and intimate familiarity with the anomaly have revealed aspects that laboratory analysis and scientific consensus have missed? The dismissal of their ongoing claims as psychological denial could itself be a form of scientific arrogance. The Baltic Sea Anomaly case reveals how devastating it can be when passionate discovery meets scientific reality. It shows how the human need to find meaning and significance in our discoveries can conflict with cold, objective analysis. Most disturbingly, it raises questions about how many other significant discoveries have been dismissed by the scientific community, and how many dedicated researchers have been psychologically crushed by having their life's work reduced to mundane, natural phenomena. The technology that failed us. The Baltic Sea Anomaly is a chilling reminder of how easily both humans and technology can be deceived. For more than a decade, the mystery resisted clear answers despite being analyzed with sonar imaging, underwater cameras, material sampling, and even artificial intelligence. Each attempt left the question unresolved. Was this structure natural or man-made? The earliest sonar scans painted a picture that felt too precise to be random. The formation appeared geometric, with sharp lines and angles that seemed purposeful. These images, created with professional-grade equipment, convinced many that something artificial had been found deep beneath the sea. Adding to the intrigue, divers who explored the anomaly in person reported features that seemed unnatural. They spoke of geometric patterns, interference with their instruments, and structural details that reinforce the idea of design. For years, these observations fueled the belief that the Baltic Sea Anomaly could not simply be explained away as nature's work. But eventually, the conclusion reached was far less extraordinary. The anomaly is a natural formation. That verdict, however, is unsettling in its own right. It shows that both advanced technology and direct human observation were not only wrong, but completely misled for years. If we can be tricked so thoroughly by natural processes, how many other mysteries have been wrongly classified? This raises troubling questions for archaeology, geology, and even the search for extraterrestrial life. If our best tools can't reliably distinguish between what is natural and what is artificial, then our interpretations of other unexplained sites or formations may be deeply flawed. We may be building knowledge on foundations that aren't as solid as we assume. And that realization may be more disturbing than the discovery of alien technology. A natural world capable of producing structures so convincing that they mimic intelligent design suggests our understanding of Earth's processes is far less complete than we'd like to believe. The Baltic Sea Anomaly forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. The line between natural and artificial might be far blurrier than we ever imagined. The solution to the Baltic Sea Anomaly mystery reveals something more unsettling than any alien spacecraft theory ever could. Our planet is capable of creating natural formations so precise and geometric that they can fool experts for over a decade, complete with electromagnetic properties that disrupt modern technology. This isn't just about one mysterious object. It's about the terrifying realization that we fundamentally misunderstand the geological processes shaping our world, and that nature itself might be far more complex and mysterious than we ever dared imagine. Which unsettles you more? That unknown intelligence may be behind these strange formations, or that nature itself can craft patterns so precise they look man-made.